You read a story or you read a script and you do have images in your head. Once in a while you get this golden gift. And the one mandate that we had from everybody was, let's make this as real as we possibly can.
Hi, I'm Keith Cunningham, production designer for Perry Mason Season 2.
Hi, I'm Catherine Adair and I was the costume designer on Season 2 of Perry Mason. And this is how we did it.
Just reading their treatment got me so excited. The period, this 1933 in LA was just such a great opportunity for, production design and to show off this world.
I love research, so that was easy, and it's a fascinating time period. Whether it was a car that Keith had seen or whether it was somebody who'd come back from the First World War who was missing a limb, there were very specific pieces that Keith and I had found and pitched to the showrunners that we wanted to make sure we saw.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You know, my dad used to bring us down here when we were kids so he could catch catfish.
Over and watch.
Yeah.
Doing a period series, and knowing we're going to do a gambling ship. Not only did we do one, we did two. Finding out the research about these gambling casinos that were off the shores, all up and down the coast of California, from Malibu down to Long Beach. So the challenge to find a location that was big enough to feel like a casino that would have existed on one of these ships, which would be at least 400 feet long. We knew that was a great way to sort of establish the show, introduce this color palette.
We literally took paint swatches and color palettes, and I did whole boards of fabric, and we put them in front of the camera, and then we went to post to find out how much they were going to desaturate in Season 2, so that we knew where to pull the color up and where to leave it alone.
We're getting a team. It's the future.
The Yanks, the Cubs, they get 12,000 fans every game. No one thinks we're a baseball town.
Well, I built a giant stadium to prove that we are.
The courtroom set literally became bigger, and we wanted to make it sort of more intimidating in some ways and sort of classical. We designed our own murals, looking at the two different sides of the society, right? The upper class and then the lower class are those that were struggling.
Certainly from the costume point of view, I knew what colors we didn't want to use, so that when we place the extras in the courtroom, hopefully the tapestry of color that you get there really does echo what you did in the murals.
Your Honor, I think President agrees with me. Supreme Court Justice Sutherland, who wrote last year in Powell versus Alabama that the accused, which my clients are, in a capital case, which this is, to have aid to counsel for his defense, which I am, includes the right to have sufficient time to advise with counsel and to prepare a defense is one of the fundamental rights of the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment.
Our research was in black and white, but again, having a little insight into the era and finding out what these shanties were built from. It was a lot of found wood, and the billboard. Just having that piece of research really helped us again bring color. We didn't want this to be this big brown mass of huts.
Because my research had been very much for the Hooverville of Dorothea Lange's photography, there were some women that I had specifically asked my crew to dress as close as they could to that photography. And there were two women in particular, and there was one with blonde hair, and I had asked the hair and makeup department again to follow through for me. So when we got out to the Hooverville for the first time and Della comes in, I knew she was there. And then also keeping the color so that once you got to the Hooverville, it wasn't just a sepia picture. When Della comes into the Hooverville, we didn't use the blue coat. I used that sort of wine-colored coat.
Perry's not completely comfortable in his own skin or his new role as a lawyer, which speaks to these costume choices.
Everything that Perry wore in Season 1, other than his casual clothes and his leather jacket, he got all that clothing from the morgue. Finding a balance of making him some new clothes that didn't look brand new, but that Della had insisted that he looked a little bit more professional. The gift Matthew gave me is his physical way of being once he inhabits an actor is so specific and so good
appreciate you coming by. Short notice. Strick said you really helped him out. Sounds like he'd use you again.
And again and again.
The same way that we explored opening up California and opening up Los Angeles and the different stratas of society. They're all in slightly different places in their lives in season 2, threading the needle of their past, but also bringing them to a different point in their lives.
The writers were so, gave us
They did.
such a palette and a world to be invested in. It was, I mean, what an opportunity. Every script was just like a gift.